Bro, he's what?
Molly flag.
Dude! He's so brain broken. He's so brain broken. He's so brain broken. He's literally so brain broken. Okay, let's see. Reacting to Kamala Harris choosing Tim Walz as her running mate from Joseph Robinette Rogan from yesterday.
The Joe Rogan experience.
Is there any way to you that we're not being gaslit like to hell by Kamala Harris?
In what way?
Like, wasn't she like a joke even among Democrats? Like 10 seconds ago? Like literally, like a day ago.
Yep.
And now it's like the country's rallying around.
I know. Yeah.
It's because I will repeat this over and over again. There was a poll that came out in the New York Times a couple months prior to the swap that happened, that showed that a generic no-name Democrat was outperforming Biden by 25 points. 25 points. I saw that and I said, wow, it sure seems to me like Americans don't hate Democratic policies. They just hate whoever the Democrats have put forward.
But I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
even.
we're so easily manipulated, and they're all doing it in lockstep. Yeah, no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. She polled as the least popular vice president of all time.
Yeah.
She is, I had dinner with a friend of mine recently who actually knows her. He says she's very smart, but when she gets in front of a camera, she locks up, and she's just not good at communicating, and she tries to go off script, and she...
Did you see the clip of her talking about how dare we wish Merry Christmas to people?
No.
Yeah, she does this bizarre like rant about how we shouldn't be wishing Merry Christmas to anyone.
Is this when she was a senator?
I don't know. It's recent.
It's recent.
Yeah.
Really?
It's so strange that like that was her, like that's the only time I've seen her passionate about anything on camera.
Come on, really?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, no,
I've seen the one she was telling that people need to be woke. Everyone needs to be more woke.
Oh,
you should
yeah.
be more woke. You should figure out who's the wokest and try to be the wokest, but you should, whatever, everyone should be more woke. And she's like laughing. It's like, what the fuck?
And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Wait, what the do they think that she's anti-Merry Christmas? The speech was in response to a very recent mass shooting, if I recall correctly. Yeah, bro, yeah, man, keep running the war on Christmas narratives. Yeah, that's what the Democrats are running on, war on Christmas. So they found a clip ripped out of context and played it and took it as a fact. It's just like, contextually speaking, that is literally the dumbest context. Okay? You have to be so unimaginably primed that you have lost like parts of your brain that normally operate where you go, this doesn't pass the smell test. I know this from how my haters clip me out of context all the time. There are a lot of people who are just like genuinely primed into hating someone. So they just go, yeah, no, I bet that like she's just anti-Merry Christmas. That's so stupid. And then here she is saying Merry Christmas, like she's pro Merry Christmas. What's going on? Oh, I guess she's flip-flopping on Christmas. Nobody cares about that. What is that clip from? Let's go find it. Let's find that. Trump falsely claimed Harris doesn't want anybody saying Merry Christmas. Former U.S. President Donald Trump made the claim at an August 3rd, 2024 rally. Trump told the crowd at an August 3rd rally, Harris, ready, 2 words are Merry Christmas. She doesn't want anybody saying Merry Christmas. Bro, first of all, it's August. Basically, the accusation less than 5 months from Christmas holiday was that Harris, while setting her sights on the White House, did not want anyone saying Merry Christmas. However, this broad claim was both false and nothing more than a lament or latest chapter in what has become known as the war on Christmas, a familiar theme of seemingly imaginary persecution promoted at past Trump rallies.
She invoked Greta Thunberg a little bit there.
Oh, that's so nutty.
Yeah.
How dare we?
How dare we? How dare you?
Yeah, no, we're definitely being gaslit. Yeah. And not only that, here's the big one, right? She wasn't elected, right? No. She was appointed vice president, and then they didn't do primaries. They had no primaries for Joe Biden, and now all of a sudden she is the nominee because he's stepping away. And so then they bring in her, and they bring in this other guy who's radical from Minnesota. That's the vice president, who
like the crazy thing is like Tim Walz. If Joe Rogan wasn't so insanely right-wing pilled, like he would look at a guy like Tim Walz and be like, he's awesome, but he's hitting the right-wing talking points like he's Brian Kilmeade, dude. What do you mean radical? If Kyle Kalinske sat down with Joe Rogan right now and explained to him Tim Walz's positions and the fact that he owns no stocks, okay, that's like so good for normies, dude. So good for average, like middle of the ground, moderate to like moderate right normies. They love that. 24-year veteran, and then spent most of his time like dealing with Veterans Affairs in Congress, literally fed children, paid family leave. These are not things. These are not individual policies that Joe Rogan would consider to be radical. This is a man who has literally been like, yeah, I'm pro Bernie Sanders. Okay? If someone were to sit down and explain to Joe Rogan who Tim Walz is and what his positions are, he'd be like, oh, dude, that seems like a great guy.
He believes a lot of wild things. One of them is transgender surgery for people who are under 13. Another one is abortion up until 9 months.
Ooh.
Yeah. Obviously, there's reasons why people medically would, like, if the woman's life is in danger, if the child has something wrong, it's not going to live. There's reasons why they choose to do things like that, but that stuff scares the out of people. He changed the Minnesota state flag to make it look like a
Bro, he's what?
Somali flag.
Dude! He's so brain broken. He's so brain broken. He's so brain broken. He's literally so brain broken. Oh my God. Brother, you are so stupid, dude. Someone needs to take his Facebook away and his Twitter away, dude. You need to tap out.
Yeah.
Oh.
You haven't seen that?
No.
Yeah. Show that video. So the video of him taking down the Minnesota flag and he replaced it with the new flag that looked.
Dog, it doesn't look like the Somali flag, number one. Number two, it was a fan contest. It's not like Tim Walz did the flag, dumbass.
Looks a lot like the Somali flag.
Wow.
Minnesota has a huge population of Somalis in it.
Well, isn't what's her face?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's her face?
Yeah.
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there's a video of him doing it.
Man.
Well, okay. Well, let's see the video.
Jamie, shut the up, Jamie. Let me do my thing. Hey, Jamie, I'm in the pocket. Okay, I'm going ultra instinct. Okay, I'm doing right wing memes. Shut the up, Jamie. Talking about shit in the background.
But they did change the
Jamie, shut your up.
Minnesota state flag, correct?
Sometimes the false.
Yeah, that's the problem with like fact checkers. Some of these fact checkers are completely full of shit. Like you're just trying to debunk something, especially now when there's
no, yeah, you're right. Fact checkers are full of because they said that it was a fan contest, which it was, that the people voted on, which was the truth. That all of that stuff is actually fake. What's real is he's secretly a Somali man. Yeah, no, Tim Walz, football coach, teacher, 24-year veteran. He's actually a secret Somali. Oh my God! Wait until this mother finds out that he speaks Mandarin. Oh my Lord! Wait until this dude finds out Tim Walz speaks Mandarin. Holy shit!
All the scrutiny being paid attention to what this guy's done.
Yeah.
What have you? What's the false stuff, Jamie? It's not the flag itself, correct?
Yeah, I typed in. I was just trying to even get to it. A whole bunch of stories are popping up. I'll just show you this. Like, no, he didn't give him a Somali flag. No, he didn't change it to resemble Somali. False Somali.
But
state
what does
flag.
it look? Okay, but what does it look like now?
That's what I was trying to get to.
Okay, on the left is Somali flag.
At least Joe Rogan gives us cognitive dissonance in real time. Once again, dude, he has so many of these moments. There's going to be like an 8-hour long compilation of Joe Rogan facing normal facts and just being like, well, I didn't know. Why does it lie?
On the right is the Minnesota state flag. Okay, same color as Somali flag, a white star, a different white star in it.
It's not the same color and it's not the same flag. It is so insane, dude. The account that you are taking into consideration is Andrew Torba, the Nazi who owns the Nazi platform Gab.
Like the Somali
Full brainlet, dude.
flag, very different than the original Minnesota flag. And there's the video down below that. That's when he changes it out. So he takes out the Minnesota state flag. Oh, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Turn the volume up, please, so you hear him say that.
All right, ready. Whoa, wait a minute.
So he gets the flag, picks it up, moves it out of the way, and replaces it. Look at this.
We, as a society, were not equipped to deal with the internet. Every single person, we as a society are not equipped with the to deal with the democratization of information dissemination. So Zoomers don't know this, and Generation Alpha, if you're in here, you don't know this thing that when we were growing up, our parents used to believe. It was called email chains, chain letters, email chains. Back then, they would do like these crazy, like email this to 10 people or else like you're going to be cursed or whatever, right? If you don't send this to like 10 other people, if you don't send this email to like 10 other people, you'll be cursed for life. And our parents and our grandparents believed that, right? They did. They were scared. But luckily, there was not a broad network that actually connected all of those people who believe in that kind of stuff so that they could all get together and collectively go, no, it is real. The email chain stuff that I saw is real. Now, with the internet, you're on Facebook, and they fucking believe that shit.
There, that's better.
Is it?
Why is that better?
I don't know.
Why do you care what the flag looks like, first of all? And why do you get to change the flag? How crazy is that the governor gets to change the flag? Like, who else is involved in that decision to change the flag?
Is that what happened?
I don't know.
Usually it's a big event. They let people pick, there's
Right. No, we
voting
have a
on it,
bunch of people that's a high population of Somalis in your state. I would imagine they would want to try to get that flag a little closer to home.
Yeah. The worst incident of fact checking was the quid pro quo Joe clip where Biden brags about.
Oh, I guess we're moving on. I'm gonna look up the Somali percentage. Hey guys, we did it. 64,354 Somali people got together that make up a whopping 1.25% of the entire Minnesota state population. They got together like the pirates that they are and took over this, democratic process. Joe Rogan, if you have been watching him over the course of many, many years like I have, is a in real time example of what happens to your brain when you watch and read too much right-wing garbage. Okay? This is literally a perfect demonstration. Like, he has gotten progressively dumber over the course, especially accelerated post-pandemic, especially accelerated when he moved to Austin, Texas. He is a perfect example of what happens when you do too much right-wing commentary, when you read too much right-wing shit.
Joe Rogan's endorsement of independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. sparked controversy among Trump supporters on Thursday. Rogan, known for his podcast that attracts a far-right audience and his promotion of conspiracy theories as well as his association with the UFC, has led many Trump supporters to expect Rogan's full endorsement of former President Donald Trump. The backlash from the MAGA movement reflected widespread anger towards Rogan, seen by some as a betrayal. However, when video emerged of Rogan praising Kennedy as the only candidate that makes sense to me, it further intensified dissatisfaction among prominent figures within the MAGA community. Examples of these reactions included criticisms from far-right influencer, also known as Scattered, along with comments from right-wing conspiracy theorists Jack Posobiec and Mike Cernovich.
That time that he withheld $1 billion of aid to Ukraine.
So they fire a prosecutor.
To fire a prosecutor that we now know his son worked for. Mm-hmm. And if you type that in, Snopes or whatever would tell you just like, oh, that didn't happen. Biden, there was no quid pro quo, and Biden didn't want the prosecutor fired. That is because he didn't know that his son worked.
Dog, you're just objectively wrong. His son didn't work for the prosecutor, you idiot. Also, not only are you wrong, but if his son worked for the prosecutor, then it would be still against his best interest to advocate to fire the prosecutor. So not only are you wrong, but you're so stupid that even in the wrong argument that you're making, you still are literally not showing a conflict of interest, rather lack thereof.
Biden, there was no quid pro quo, and Biden didn't want the prosecutor fired. That is because he didn't know that his son worked for Burisma at the time. And it's like, how can you just say that's fake? And like, it's scary to me that people will read that and be like, oh, it's fake. It's like, no, look at it, like with your eyes.
Yeah, fact checkers are dangerous, and it's really, I mean, what you're seeing is kind of treason.
Yeah,
it's kind of what it is. If you're seeing that kind of fact checking, you're lying. You're lying, and you're intentionally misrepresenting facts, and you're doing so because you want a specific result politically.
Right.
And it should be illegal.
I agree.
Especially if people.
This is one of the funniest stories because it just like, it doesn't hit. Like Republicans tried it. It objectively didn't hit. It was so out there and nobody gave a shit about it. They literally spent countless hours doing this investigation. It falled on its face. It was genuinely such a dud that even Fox News dropped it. But Joe Rogan himself is still running with this narrative. That's how far he is. At this point, I feel, sorry, I said falled. I'm getting dumber by watching Joe Rogan. This is a real issue, okay? This is a very real thing that happens when you watch too much Joe Rogan. I watched 7 minutes and 50 seconds of Joe Rogan, and I've already become stupider.
Think of you as a fact checker, and what does that mean?
Minnesotan here who participated in the flag redesign. The final design melded two top contenders, then was given to a design team to clean up and modify. The star chosen was picked to represent both Minnesota as the North Star state. The blue on the left is an abstract shape of Minnesota, and the light blue contrast represents the sky. These guys are so fear obsessed. This was an extremely democratic process. Damn, we got a primary source in the chat.
What does it mean to be a fact checker? The problem with facts is a lot of them are very subjective. You could find one small inconsistency or you could phrase a question in a certain way and have your answer false in a different way because you're just finding some nitpicky way to look at things. I've seen a lot of that to the point where
facts are not subjective. What the
you're like, that's not fact checked at all. You guys just you're gaslighting. It's just pure gaslighting.
This is what it says. Who picked the new flag?
State Emblems Redesign Commission tasked with choosing the new flag and seal made its
No, they're lying too. They're all Somali.
Final selections this week, and the new design will debut next year. It follows 4 months of meetings, many spirited debates, and 2,500 submissions from the public sharing their ideas for the new symbols.
This is why they changed it. He said it was problematic.
Problematic. Oh, I love that term. Our current flag is problematic. I think we all know that. We've evolved into a more diverse state, and I think it's more reflective of that. Okay, what was the original flag? There's concern with the scene depicted on the old flag, which many found offensive. First adopted in 1957, the flag showed a white settler tilling land as an indigenous man rides horseback. Indigenous members of the State Emblem Redesign Commission said it was harmful to their communities and promoted the erasure of their people from the land.
What?
Well, can I see what it looks like? Show me the original.
It's crazy because the person quoted in that article is Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, a name that you're probably unfamiliar with now, but you will most likely be very familiar with down the line. She is slated to be governor of Minnesota. She also happens to be of Native descent. There's probably some reason for her to refuse the old flag. Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, who was a member of the White Earth Band of Ojibwe, am I saying that right? I don't know. Refused to use the old flag. Of
their people from the land.
What?
Well, can I see what it looks like?
She's from my tribe. I would like to be excited, but she reminds me of a certain tribal leader from her band, but I won't get into tribal politics here. Oh, no, I don't want to. Oh, no. Let's not get into that. No, a real native, not like Elizabeth Warren, like an actual native.
Like, show me the original, just get a photo of the original Minnesota flag.
Tribal politics are as follows. The very same divide that you have among leadership is from everything that I've read on the matter. Every single issue that you see in even democratic processes, like sometimes the division between rank and file union members versus the people who are at the leadership positions in the union, even if it's democratically aligned, sometimes people will be at odds with one another. Same goes for tribal politics as well. A lot of the natives who are not a part of the structure or in positions of power within tribes will sometimes have will sometimes be at odds with those who are in leadership positions.
Let's see what it looked like. Okay. So there's a Native American on horseback. I see it, though. And then there's a farmer tilling the land, a Native American on horseback. Is that problematic because Native Americans didn't really ride horses and people didn't really till the land? Like, I don't understand what...
There's a big controversy about that, actually.
Yeah?
Whether or not how long horses have been in North America.
Well, horses originated in North America.
What?
Yeah, horses originated in North America, including zebras. All of them originated in North America. Then they were wiped out, and they had been introduced into Asia and Africa and all these other continents, and then reintroduced back to America.
Right. I meant like
when people rode them.
Correct.
Right.
So a lot of people are saying that First Nations peoples had horses for a lot longer than Europeans had been in America.
It's certainly possible. There's certainly different segments, different North American tribes that were much better, including right here where we are, the Comanche. Mm-hmm. The Comanche were notoriously good at raising horses, and it was part of how fierce they were. They had so many horses. And they rode them so well, and they could ride sideways and shoot arrows underneath the horse's neck. But I don't know why that's so problematic. You got to replace it with something that looks a whole lot like a Somali flag.
Yeah.
The idea does.
I like that he could have just read the article, which features the indigenous lieutenant governor of the state, and I suspect probably mentions why it is considered, annoying and problematic. And I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that it has something to do with genocide, because that is what happened. I didn't read the article, right? But like immediately, my first inclination is it might have something to do with genocide. Joe Rogan knows that the genocide of the indigenous population happened, but instead of doing that, he was like, what's problematic about it? That Indians are riding horses? Like that's what do you mean? Like, you can ask that question and then follow that up by getting an answer. Why did you just ask that question in a rhetorical manner only to just like make a joke about it and move on?
Doesn't look like a Somali flag. Is kind of crazy. I mean, it does.
It does.
It certainly does. It's certainly the same color. Certainly also has a white star. It's just a different white star.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, there's another flag that has the color blue and white stars on it. That's insane. I can't do this anymore.
The flag doesn't bother.
No, not Somalia. The United States of America, or the state that he's currently in, Texas.
I mean, that much.
Israel. So many flags have that.
People in Minnesota like it. Like, who cares? It's just a star and some colors. The real problem is when you hear discussions of things that are like openly Marxist philosophies, when you hear talk about equal outcomes and not just equal opportunity, but that we all need to arrive at the same place, equal outcome talk. There's only one way they can do that, and it's by...
What is it called? Vexillology? An inherently Marxist fascination. It's like, dude, I hate this full-blown Marxism, which is flag design.
Forcing you.
Well, it's by everyone having nothing.
Yeah.
That's the only way to have things totally equal.
Hell yeah.
Because
Exactly.
you can't have everyone have everything. That's impossible.
Right. There's no way. There's not enough resources. And so for equal distribution, that has to be enforced by law. So that has to be enforced by the government, and the government generally does not have equal. They have much more than you. And that's Fidel Castro in Cuba. That's
What?
North Korea. That's virtually every communist country that's ever existed. You have a military dictatorship.
No, brother, no. No, you can't do that. You can maybe say that about North Korea, okay? But don't ever come for Fidel like that. Don't ever come for Fidel Castro like that. You son of a bitch. You ape. You don't know anything. Fidel Castro implemented land reforms on his own family. Suck my dick, dude. Shut the up. That's crazy. What do you mean? Oh, just he owned all the land. The government did everything. It's like, as opposed to having slavery, which was cool.
Decides what you can and can't do with your time.
Sure.
And all under the guise of making it better for everyone. And that's exactly what they did to North Korea. When they took over people's farms, they said,
Google that old image. It has an indigenous person on horse holding a spear. The white farmer is tilling a field with a plow. It raises the...
said, we're going to take over the farm so that everybody has food. Yeah.
Probably better if you don't call us savage. Bro, do you think I'm... Oh my God. Oh my God. Chatters, shut up. I'm saying the depiction of natives there is to imply savagery, a racist trope against the indigenous population. That is why I am saying that. I can't believe how much time we spent on this one Joe Rogan video. I'm losing my mind. We're going to move on.
Now everyone's starving.
Right.
And the government has all the food. And if you kill a cow, they'll kill you. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts that people don't learn from history, and it's nuts that people who subscribe to this leftist ideology have this very distorted version of humans and how capitalism works and what's the benefits of it. I think there's a lot of parts of progressive ideology and philosophy that could be applied to society to make things better. I think if we funded more things the same way we fund the fire department, the police force, these are kind of socialist things, right? Everybody gets access to the fire department.
Right.
It's a part of being in the community. We all pay for it. Education is that way, but it should be much more funded, right? It should be much more prestigious, much better trained teachers, a more esteemed position.
Watch out, bro. You kind of sounding Somali right now. You know what I mean? You're sounding real Somali with this attitude. Like, what are you, Tim Walz, talking about funding education and shit? Hey, yo, chill, Joe. That's radical DEI, socialist, Marxist, Somali politics right now that you're broaching on.
I feel the same way about law enforcement. They should be much more respected, much better trained.
Much
You
more
should put much more
respected.
resources into that and have them be integral and a part of the community and for the safety of the community. Not the bad guys who come in to pull you over because you rolled through a stoplight. You know, that kind of.
Right.
And I think the problem is these people that have this idea of equal outcome, this is the worst version of all these leftist ideologies. The worst version is open borders, everybody should have everything, and then equal distribution of it. And then what always comes with that is they unarm the citizens. And if they don't unarm the citizens, you can't get away with any of this stuff. But as soon as you have no one has guns other than the police, everybody is forced to comply.
Yo, what is he talking about, bro? All right, I'm done.
Former President Trump expressed disappointment with Joe Rogan on Friday after Rogan voiced support for independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., though the podcaster later clarified that it was not an endorsement. Rogan hosted the most popular podcast in America last year and holds significant influence with his 14.5 million followers as the 2024 presidential election approaches. It will be interesting to see how loudly Joe Rogan gets booed the next time he enters the UFC ring. MAGA 2024, Trump wrote on his Truth Social platform Friday. Rogan, a UFC commentator, frequently enters the ring for post-fight interviews. In an episode released Thursday, Rogan criticized politicians from both sides of the aisle for being manipulative and pushing narratives, with the exception of RFK Jr. "He's the only one who makes sense to me," Rogan said of RFK Jr., expressing admiration for his approach. "He does not attack people, he attacks actions and ideas, but he's much more reasonable and intelligent." Rogan also mentioned that he initially viewed RFK Jr. as an anti vaxxer and a conspiracy theorist nut until he read Kennedy's book, The Real Anthony Fauci. Spotify, which signed a multi year deal to distribute the Joe Rogan Experience podcast earlier this year, faced significant backlash over anti vaccination comments Rogan made in 2022. Rogan clarified on Friday, before Trump's comment, that his statement about RFK Jr. was not an endorsement. This is me saying that I like RFK Jr. as a person and I really appreciate the way he discusses things with civility and intelligence. Rogan wrote on X, I think we could use more of that in this world. Rogan also remarked that Trump raising his fist and saying fight after the assassination attempt is one of the most American things of all time. He added, I'm not that guy to get political information from. If you found this video informative, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. And thanks for watching.